Old Trafford is buzzing to its first Premier League game of the year 2025. It should be a win, honestly. It's the 15th place Man United entertaining the rock bottom, guys. Rock bottom Southampton. Honestly, if our performances against Liverpool and Arsenal are anything to go by, we should be able to dispose of these Southampton kids and take them exactly to the bottom where they belong. But with Man United lately, there are no easy games, there are no guarantees, and that's why Ruben Amorim said it and made it clear that this is the game he's going to get to understand his players properly. Will they pass that final audition? My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe to the United Sport as we do keep talking Man United at a time when we feel so positive about what's going on. Listen, guys, there is a certain negativity that people have carried from 2024 into 2025, and I'm thinking, guys, move on, fam. You can't keep failing and not wanting to support something that is clearly looking right. People are saying, Webb, you cannot be here supporting Ruben Amorim. We've seen managers before who have come and started well, and they failed eventually. Blah blah blah. Come on, fam. I cannot live my life like that. We are supposed to back the manager because at least the things we see in just 2 months show that there is big progress in this team. So we cannot live there just because even Ten Hag came and his first season finished third, and so we cannot move on and back managers. Come on, don't live like that. Free yourself, free your souls, guys. Ye people of little faith. Listen, I'm not part of you. I've got so much faith in Ruben Amorim. I believe in whatever he's doing. At this point, by the way, and I was telling myself while I was thinking of my probable starting 11, and I was saying, does it even matter which probable starting 11 anymore? At some point, we are going to stop giving them because at this point, I trust Ruben Amorim so much to the point that he can start Amad Diallo in goal, and I'll be like, he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? You know, that is something that has lacked for a long time. I mean, I can no longer question a decision made on players by Ruben Amorim. You know why? It's because he puts the best players at the time in the best positions, and he has got every reason to back his decisions. For me, that's the very important thing. And usually, more times than not, his decisions have been vindicated. The end has always justified the means. So why on earth would I keep doubting? But that said, as we go to take on Southampton, I mean, this is an unusually different game, honestly, because guys are tired, man. When's the last time Man United players played over 120 minutes of football? They ran so much, they played so many minutes, they were 10, they were fighting, they suffered. Like he said, really, in his first words, you've got to suffer, we are going to suffer. Indeed, these boys suffered and delivered. Yet, just a few days later, they have another important game at home in the Premier League. Now, the beauty is the positions on the log are a bit fair, honestly. I mean, this is a game after suffering against Arsenal like that. You would rather play a rock bottom Southampton that even in your worst form, in the first leg, you beat at their own yard by 3 goals. So perhaps it's a lesser, opposition, that is definitely. But again, Southampton, I keep telling people, the football they have played, and for a long time, even before they brought in Juric, who is their new manager now, they were playing good football. That was not rock bottom football. Elsewhere in another league, Southampton would be mid-table or top half with the football they've been playing. They score goals, just as they concede, and of course they are overpowered. But you can see they are a team that has got something in them. They can beat anyone on a good day. So for me, like Amorim said, we want to see these players come and bring that anger that they carried to the Emirates Stadium, that they carried to Anfield, and just drop it at Old Trafford on these Southampton kids so that everyone watching will know how hostile it's going to be going forward for them to visit Old Trafford. I mean, we've been disrespected for so long. Having teams like Fulham, Bournemouth coming to Old Trafford and they bully us. Really? Is that Man United? So what Amorim is building now are the characters to know that this is our fortress. You don't come here and expect no smiles and laughing and huggings and what. No, it is war. That's what I expect to see. And these Southampton kids should be scared to ever return. It should be their worst nightmare going to Old Trafford going forward. So for me, I want to see that ruthlessness. Now going back to the team proper, the obvious change I think Amorim would you would anticipate would make would be bringing back Andre Onana in goal and starting ahead of Altel Bayindil, because perhaps we would we honestly feel it's perhaps him playing Bayindil was a thing of giving Onana some rest, but also trying to divide now the goalkeepers. One is a cup goalkeeper, the other is a league goalkeeper and stuff. But I think that would be the obvious decision. But you see, knowing Amorim or trying to read into his mind, he might say after such a brilliant performance against Arsenal, you can only reward Baindil by another consecutive start, because it's also good for him. If he played so well against Arsenal like that, he's in a good mood, he's in the frame and all, he's on form. You play him even the next game. So I wouldn't be surprised if he kept him there and still rested Andre Onana. Onana needs that rest, by the way. I do think he needs it, but also for him to see Bainde shine and perform, he will wake up in his head and say, you know what, I've got to step up my game. So I'll put Onana back, but I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Bainde maintained his place in between the sticks. He's earned every right to be a starter. Now, in the back line is where you would painfully tinker. I mean, Martinez, Maguire, and Delete have been impeccable in the past games. I think they are clearly our best centre-back trio. But, I mean, they played too many minutes, honestly. They are tired. They need to rest. Lenny Yoro is not so far off. I think Yoro comes in and brings fresh feet, always looking better and ready to help the team, and he does so perfectly well. But my feeling is one of Maguire or Delete. I saw when Maguire was put off in the previous game, I sort of actually got a sense he was seriously injured, but he probably isn't. But I think he might have rested a bit, so maybe him could be maintained to start with Martinez and Yoro replaces Delete, or it could be Maguire who makes way for Yoro and Delete. So Delete plays with Yoro, but I expect Yoro to start in this game in one of those places in centre back on the right of the defense, ahead of either Delete or Maguire. So that could be the little tinkering that could be allowed. Of course, at this point, we don't want Ruben Amorim to tinker with the team, because at least we clearly know what the starting 11 is. He should know it himself, but I think it is understandable for him to bring in a little fresh feet in the back line for now. Mazraoui is the other player I still think needs to rest, but I mean, it's nearly impossible to rest Mazraoui. He doesn't look. First of all, there are no options. I mean, you look at the right wing back position where he plays lately, and you're thinking, unless Amorim is going to start Ahmad there and then have Garnacho play in the place of Ahmad as a 10 with Bruno and Zaxi leading the line, because I think Zaxi will come ahead of Rasmus Højlund, I think deservedly. In terms of performances, Zaxi has been looking good and fresh when he has come on. Of course, he's good as an impact guy probably lately, as an impact substitute, but I think Højlund has started many games, but also Højlund got rested. But I think Zaxi deserves to start a bit, and we see what more he can do if his confidence is back, because the last time he started a game was really forgettable for him. In the middle, Maino and Ugarte, I think both rested enough in the previous game, but we know that there's the fresh fit of Toby Collier, and if he can be trusted, Amorim was saying he's another option who can be started in the middle. But he's fast and works hard and he wants to learn, so that's an advantage with him. But I still think Kobe and Ugarte will be starting in the middle. Then Dalot, who is suspended, perhaps now clearly deputized by Malaysia, or Mazraoui can be inverted. But I said Mazraoui, who is the backup. I don't see Amorim again taking Ahmad back to the right wing back. I think he has decided that Ahmad is his starting number 10 with Bruno. So probably Ahmad and Bruno will be the two number 10s, and Zach is up top. Then Malaysia comes in for Dalot, and Mazraoui maintains his place on the right. Or, like I said, Ahmad pulls where Mazraoui is, then Garnacho plays behind Zaxi and together with Fernandez, and then Mazraoui is inverted in place of Malaysia if Malaysia is not really fit. So those are the small tinkerings I would expect, but all of them I think will certainly make sense, because first of all, players need to rest. Certain players do need to rest, but also I do think for me, Amorim doesn't want to be exactly predictable, He's not the kind of manager. So, but whichever team that he brings, I'm one of those who is so confident now in all the players, and he would start Anthony in place of Mazraoui, and I wouldn't mind really. because I do know now that Amorim has got the time to understand his players, but each of his players have mastered how he wants them to play, and they are delivering even when you least expect them. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. Southampton loves to dominate the game, and all United has got to do, they love to pass the ball directly with speed and stuff, but all United has got to do is to bully them because they concede goals for fun. It is so easy to score against Southampton. So all you've got to do is be confident. Man United has got to increase in terms of command of the game. Southampton have got a goal difference of minus 32. They have scored 12 and conceded 44 goals. 44 goals, you can imagine. I think it's only Wolves that have conceded more than them, 48, and Leicester City, 46. They have conceded 44. So obviously, we don't score enough goals lately. But I do feel this is a team, if we bully them at Old Trafford, the noise comes, the fans see the hunger and desire from the team. Certainly, they will give them the energy to find ways of getting the goals, even if they are not coming in the numbers we would want them. So for me, my simple prediction of this game is a dominating win for United. If it's a win that is not dominating, I'll still come here and question it. Me, what I want to see is not just the result, because a win is expected. What I want to see is the desire, the fight. What spirit are they bringing? Are they going to bully this Mino, or will they lower down on their hunger just because they're playing a smaller team? My name is Webb. 3-0 win for United is my prediction. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me catch you later.